Hi, Msoul. It's Venus Callida here. How you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. So I've been itching to do some shows, but I don't have time to do the live shows, and I'm using weird hours of my life to do this. But I did a stream today on Twitch, and I was talking to all of my wonderful subscribers, and everyone was giving each other subs and were wishing Traxxer a happy birthday, and we talked about how I wanted to ship the different Crush Crush Sad Panda Studios girls that I was able to pick my own roster for this special fantasy event. And we felt like, well, since most of us are World of Warcraft players, they kind of look like World of Warcraft players in a dungeon team, in a party. And so, since I've had a couple of other streamers again asking me about or complaining about or question me on, do I put photos into AI to whatever? So, and again, no, I did not. So I'm gonna draw what I was talking about, shipping everybody. Instead of doing a beach scene with music to pick their favorite music styles, and always use the usually stuff from Mixkit or my own stuff that I'm making now on my own. Or NCS also offers stuff that we can use for our streams. No copyright. I always use public domain stuff. I've used my own photography that I run through Corel Paint at times for my stuff, especially my first year before I had an avatar. That's how I was doing my stuff. And I've always been open and honest about all of that, and I always credit anywhere when I can. But I was talking about backgrounds instead of beach music video vibes for some shorts. I'm gonna ship my followers because I always try to do things to include my followers, to build our community and to acknowledge everybody who makes it all great. With a background this time, instead of something romantic or date-like, instead it would be in front of a slave dragon, because we've got these sad panda characters now here. And of course, I did talk about how I figured out a way. So I've redrawn myself in Genshin Impact and my ghoul in Genshin Impact style. And, I don't know. So I had an idea for that. And I'm gonna end up putting music on this, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit. So because people make comments again, I'm gonna remind people that I can sketch. I'm a doodler. I did not go to school for art. I was made to do math and science and told that artists starve. So this is just something I do on my own time. Just for fun once in a blue moon. I don't really have a lot of time to do it, and I always feel rushed. I feel rushed today as well. But I just wanted to do something because I was talking about, I always get really creative inspirations when I'm talking to my subscribers, my followers, my most fabulous mortal souls, my Msouls, my community members. And I was talking about shipping us in front of a felled dragon, or using like WoW, like felled bosses of some kind. And I don't know, I'm just sussing it out as I go. I don't know what I did there. Okay. Just thinking about it as I go. I used to draw like more Asian style dragons. Sometimes people have seen me do that back in August, and you guys saw me do that a bit. I'm gonna put a little snarly tooth in there. Felled dragon will have a slaggy tongue. Drawing this back a bit. Now, one of this is like the background, and as you guys know, when I sketch things, when I color it, I'm using Krita these days, trying to teach myself something new. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do stuff. To mine, I like to doodle. And then this is going to be, I'm going to color it in somehow. And I'm going to keep the same shape, but just do a different color dragon based on if I know what your favorite colors are. And you're one of the people, one of the subscribers I said I'd ship into this. I'm going to just make the same dragon. I'm not going to make anything different. I'm just going to keep changing its color, basically. Like Stegosaurus-ish thing. This whatever it's gonna be filled. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Kinda? I don't know. Alright, let's go back. I'm so sorry about my neighbors. They're always very loud. Sorry about that. Oh, the squeaking on my desk. Alright, I got a form there. I got a form there, so sort of an eye. Sort of an eye. Okay, we're back. Sorry about all the squeaking. Alright, I got a face. curve that off a little more. Gonna have lots of horns on this guy. There we go. We get ourselves another horn. Massive horn. Alright, maybe that's a little more proportionate. Kind of like a bit like your neck. I need the neck a little further down. Kind of. I wanted a big fat body. Big fat. Some kind of big fat body. Ish. Okay. That's sort of a back. And maybe lower down. Maybe lower down. I should be thinking about this. Like a shark. I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough room for this whole dragon. Well, it's gonna be felled, so... something like that. Still more of the back behind, because this is like Still more of the back is behind there. Right. I'll have to get an eraser before I put this through Krita. That a little straighter. Okay. Okay, sort of. Just gonna do one more. Yeah, that's balancing it out a little better. There we go. Face looks a little more like a real thing is happening there. So you can see it. Obvious Callida. I don't have an eraser, so I'll have to find an eraser before I can fix it all. Neck. So it's like we're gonna sort of follow it. Follow it up and down, right? So something like that. Okay. Something like that. This really quick scale thing. Something like that. I'm not good at making full circles. Okay, a circle. knuckle kind of thing. And I'll figure it out in a minute. Maybe that looks better. Fingernails. Okay, the last one. Grass. Grass. Little grass. You guys know I like my rocks. My stuff. Yeah, I don't have enough room for all the dragon bodies, but let's see what I'm gonna do here. Eh. I'm gonna have to put two papers beside each other and shrink it all down if I get this, if I sort of get this fit together. There's gonna be a wing over there. I have to bring that in. and the belly. Not enough room for it. Not enough room for it. Is the neck too long? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have put this front claw closer to the neck. Okay, that might be better. Whatever wing I was gonna do is up there somewhere. Maybe I should put it down. Now the wing itself is still a little bit more this way. Coming up to meet that. Coming up to meet that. But it's up overhead. It's up overhead. Figure that out later. Something, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later. Where's that elbow? So I brought the elbow in a bit. There's the elbow. And this is just skin flap. I don't think I'd be able to scan something bigger. I'd have to, like, if I put one picture beside the other picture, it will be, the wing still won't fit in it. I have to put another tape page on top. And like, I don't know if you guys can't see my helmet, because I should have put it down lower. Alright. Of course it's down in front of it, but I could just put more grasses there. I could just put more grasses there. for now. Alright, that's potential dragon-ish. Potential dragon-ish. I don't hate it. Maybe I should have put this hunched closer. I don't know. No, dragons have long necks. Dragons have long necks. Let's see what I can do with this. Oh, hide the fact that I made food. Okay, I'm gonna put the food on the other side. I put my tape on the other side. What am I gonna do here? I'm gonna keep going. So anyways, this is Callida. Here's a dragon that I drew today. Oh, I can't really see what I was gonna do with that, but I'm gonna try to like tape this together, I suppose. And then I'll tape something above it all later. So I'll tape it from behind. It's terrible tape. This is like dollar store stuff. Alright. So I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah. I'm gonna do it like this. Extend my idea. Look at all the fuzz in there. Alright, I don't have to look at that side. Let's just see where the tape is going. Huh. You can't even see. Okay, it's off camera. Come on. I'm coming. I'm coming up your way. I've tried dragons before. I have a more in-shell dragon. I actually found some stuff I did when I was really little. And maybe I'll show it to you guys one day. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so you'll see part of this. The whole thing I'll have to scan in pieces and then like shrink it all down to fit one page and then get that into Krita. But just to say, it's my dragon, he's been slain. He's just sleeping though. We only knock things unconscious and run away. We don't do anything worse than that in my little world here. Alright. I keep trying to see if I could figure out what I was going to do with that. It's going to be one long weird dragon. But then, you know, the Targaryens have weirdly shaped dragons. So, this will be one of those. So, I don't have a sharpener, so it's going to be what it's going to be. So, basically, got a stomach. It's coming up over here. Do what I can with that. Just sort of match it a bit. And this wing, what was I thinking? So there's a bone, and then there's skin, and then there's skin. Part that is the bone. What's I gonna do with you? How's I gonna connect that? Okay. Okay, so just to see, this is the part that is the actual, like the okay, so there's that. So we're gonna make a spike. It's like a needly spike. drawing thing. And that brings us back up here. So here it is, tattered a little bit. And then again, when I find an eraser, we'll fix that a little bit. Okay, so we got ourselves a tattered wings. Yep. Okay, we got our kind of a tattered wing coming down. this to make them all. I know I've run out of thingy there, but there it is. That's the flesh of the wing. It's gonna come together in like a ballpoint at the top if I were to continue that to match the end pieces here. It's like the ballpoint, like how it's coming out of the skin to be the bone. I'm gonna make this make more sense now. Okay, so this part is the bone part, alright? So the rest of that wing. Got a tatter. Maybe more in. All right. Okay. So we got poor little guy. He's got his tattered wing. This is tattered wing. Although we're not seeing the top half of anything because I didn't put this far enough down the page. But here we go. But here we go. Okay, so we're still working on it, but at least you can see the idea the spike will come out. I'll just make it bigger. Neaten itself down. And again, when I find an eraser, maybe I'll fix that. I should place that a little further down. No, I should have done it this way. Okay, so should have made that so dark right away. I don't know. Yeah. Get that later. Okay, so what do we got? I'm just shaping something out here. Shaping something out here. Figure this out. Twist of a tail. The tail's going to turn. Somehow I'm going to turn the tail. Later. Maybe not even today. Okay. Figure this out. I'm adjusting where these things are. I definitely need an eraser. Definitely need an eraser, but okay. Have to fix that later. Do. Okay, so now I think I found where the leg is. It's a big long foot. So this all has to go. Somehow I'll fix that. So that puts his butt somewhere around here. Okay, so here's what we got so far. And his tail's down there. So twisting his tail, twisting his tail. I'm just waiting, he's twisting his tail. I do need to do a little more with that, but we got something happening here. Oh, proportions, I keep needing to move something for something else. I'm gonna fix all the spikes later. Kind of getting a twist onto the tail. Oh, I can't even see. Yeah, adding some grasses. It's like the belly, and then a bit of a twist to the belly over here. Like stuffed into the ground a little bit. Okay, I think we got my doodle of the day. I haven't done the top of the wing. Got a twist on the tail. Tatter in the wing. The back leg versus the front leg. You may not be able to see that too clearly. There's grasses in there. Bothers me. So I attached something up here for the top of the wing. I guess I could do it. I guess I needed to space myself better. But you know what? It's unfolding the way it's unfolding. I don't mind it. I don't know. Maybe I should have pulled it out like up there. But I don't know. Alright. Let's find our tape for one last thing. Hopefully I gave us enough space for that. Okay, so kind of the way I was seeing it, the spike at the top. Get everything like even underneath here. There we go. There we go. The spike at the top. Now I need a different angle here. Okay. So originally, there we go. Oh shoot, I still need more room. It's time. Oh shoot. Can use that. Guys are just gonna have to imagine the rest. Oh, here, I'll do it like this. Alright. I might have to change the angle of the spike later, but oh, it's so short now. Okay, the final spike. Okay, we got it. We got her. Okay. Some things darker than others. But okay, I finished the top of the wing, the last spike. Really could be smaller. It should have been more arced out, but I didn't place. Should be more arced out that way. But we ran out of paper over there. My fault. My fault. Maybe the tail could have been extended, but okay. Always easier to see later. Alright, so but then you know what, he's battered and it could be bent. It could be a broken thing. Okay, so here it is, everybody. Okay, so hard to see. Maybe I should extend that tail. The wings. A wing. Okay, so here's our dragon. Maybe I should adjust where the tail is. I'll just have to scan this in 3 pieces and then shrink it all down so that I can get it into a Krita file. Maybe the belly part could be extended. So I know that looks like a big mess, but again, I've extended the tail. So that I guess it looks a little more proportional to the length of the neck. It'll have like dirt pieces underneath it. So like part of that, the other side of the tail is either broken off or it's like in the dirt. I'll just get an eraser to fix a piece of it. Twisting it so a bit of the underside of the tail, like the underbelly, the tail's flipped out a bit. Showing the twist. I'm a dragon. It's just sleeping. It's dehydrated. Needs some water. Pretty cute, huh? I know, maybe I have to fix the neck angles, I'm not sure. But again, I've never taken classes. I'm just feeling like doodling, so I doodled. And really, this would have gone out this way. But there's no paper there. Maybe I'll just fix it on Krita. I'll ignore what we have to ignore. Here. Make it grasses. No, I just made more of a mess. But anyways, I'm Callida. I just sketched out, doodled up that dragon that will be the Feld mount. The Feld boss beastie that will be shipping in the background behind. All the fantasy Crush Crush girls. Alright. I'm just gonna put it right here where we started today. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm Venus. I'm gonna do it this way. Callida. Bye. Have a nice day out there. Yay. Bye. See you next time.